This is pretty cool. A while back I reviewed the movie Ninja Scroll, and then just in these last few days, wouldn't you know it, one of my local record shops had a VHS copy come in. Pretty sweet. Hundreds of beavers. Oh, baby. This one is something special, let me tell ya. This movie was actually first released back in 2022, but it wasn't made widely available to the public until around late 2023, early 2024. But let me tell you, the wait is so worth it. This Blu-ray I have here didn't even release until this year, but man am I happy I got it. This one absolutely deserves to be printed on a disc, more so than so many other movies I've seen. It comes with this little booklet that most of the time would be filled with interviews, details about the movie, or something like that. But no, this one's filled almost exclusively with parody posters, some of which are pretty funny. I mean, think about it. No Country for Old Men with beavers, The Terminator with beavers, Showgirls with beavers. Okay, I think Showgirls already had some of that, but anyway, before I go into detail describing the plot, keep in mind that this movie is almost entirely silent, very little dialogue. The most dialogue-heavy scene in the movie plays out with text cards, like you'd see in an old silent movie, for example. The story follows a man named Gene Kayak, whose apple farm is destroyed and must become the greatest fur trapper in North America, not only to survive the harsh winter, but to win the hand of the girl of his dreams. The animals in the movie are almost all people in mascot suits, and even the ones that aren't are clearly just sewed together, like these fish. This joke is used throughout the entire film, and it never gets old. Even when you think you've finally gotten used to it and you think you've seen it all, they'll throw in some new animal of an equally cheap effect, and the joke just becomes funny once again. Even the non-animal effects have a deliberately low-budget look to them, looking like something anyone with basic editing skills could achieve. I think the best way to describe this movie, imagine if Buster Keaton were alive today, and if he had an Adobe subscription. Taking inspiration from Buster Keaton, obviously, as well as Looney Tunes, this movie's sense of visual comedy is just amazing. Even if a joke doesn't really land, there will be another one very soon that has a very good chance of landing. This is definitely one of those movies where you're not really paying attention to the plot as much as you are just waiting for the next joke, trying desperately not to miss it. The film is also designed to feel like a video game, particularly when he gets another kill and his counter goes up, or when he buys items at the trading post. Even his map looks like he's progressing to the next level. There's even a bit of a final boss, you could say. No spoilers, though. Dude, if they actually made Hundreds of Beavers the video game, I would buy that in a second. This movie actually got a lot of notoriety when it first came out. People who saw the film started spreading the word, theatrical releases and re-releases occurred, and it very quickly developed a cult following. I showed it to some of my friends, and dude, they frickin' loved this thing. I will say though, the film can feel a little repetitive after a while. Once the main character starts his fur trapping mission, not much really changes until the last 15-20 minutes or so of the movie. Most of the film is just him going around checking all his traps. At an hour 40 minutes, it's not too bad, and the comedy really makes it worth the time. But it can feel slow after a certain point. That's probably my biggest criticism with the movie. Also, quick word of warning, despite the film not being rated, I would definitely say this is a PG-13 movie, though it is definitely not a particularly kid-friendly movie. Lots of sexual references and some mild partial nudity, so maybe don't watch this one with young kids. Now, the older ones, though, they just might love this. Okay, even though I could say so much more about this movie, I'm not gonna. I very strongly encourage you to check this one out. You are in for a time you will not soon regret.